Welcome to the Everything Embodiment Podcast, where I will help you find peace, understanding, and love all within your human body, enhancing your mind-body connection through the exploration of vast ideas, concepts, and modalities, discussions all meant to propel you along your own unique spiritual journey. I'm your host, Amber Miller. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Amber Miller. Before we get into what we're going to talk about, the energy behind being seen, I wanted to share that I have been working through deep layers of healing connected to being seen, especially as I've gone through the process of getting the oral implant. What started as something physical quickly evolved into emotional and energetic healing I didn't even realize I needed. It's been proof to me that healing happens in layers, and we're only ever shown what we're ready to face. One of the first things I ever brought into subconscious work was my weight, thinking it was the thing I needed to fix first. But even after all that inner work, I wasn't dropping into a natural, easeful weight loss flow. And recently, I got to the core of it. This weight was protection, a buffer, a way to stay unseen, even as I longed to be witnessed. But once I did the work I was ready for, it was like the universe said, okay, now you're ready for the next step. Out of nowhere, a friend asked if I'd be open to trading healing sessions for fitness and nutrition sessions. Of all the careers in the world, she just so happened to be aligned with exactly what I needed. The timing, the trade, the next layer of support, it was all right there. The universe really does deliver when you stop forcing and start trusting. And this episode is very much about that. The energy of being seen, the fear behind it, and how we can begin to let ourselves be witnessed again. So grab your coffee, grab your tea, get comfortable, let's get into it. When I decided to start my company and build my brand, I was terrified. I just kept thinking, what if someone in my real life saw this? What if they saw my posts? All my early posts was not even my face or my voice. It was just I created little visual quotes and stuff on Canva. I had to work up to actually show my face. And the first time I did, oh my gosh, my voice probably shook. I was so terrified. I was creating content and offerings from the heart, but part of me still wanted to stay hidden. The spiritual world felt too weird for my real life. But what I have been denying is this. The spiritual world was my real life. And slowly, the other reality, the one I had built to fit in, began to fall away. I still have moments of, oh my God, what if someone sees me? Or feeling embarrassed when I see I have a new follower and it's someone from my, quote, real life. But those moments are more fleeting now because I've remembered who I am, and I will not hide to be accepted in a world I built when I couldn't remember. If you've ever felt like who you are on the inside doesn't match who you're being on the outside, this episode's for you. Let's talk about why this fear of being seen runs so deep, especially for those of us who are healers, creatives, intuitives, anyone who's really putting their own work out there. So we can't talk about hiding without talking about the witch wound. There's an ancient imprint many of us carry, often referred to as the witch wound. It's known as, being an ancestral memory of being punished, outcast, or silenced for speaking truth, embodying feminine power, or working with the unseen. It might not be something we consciously think about, but it lives in the body. And it sounds like it's not safe to be seen, or if I shine, I'll be attacked or abandoned. So visibility feels dangerous, even when part of us deeply wants to be witnessed. On top of that, there's the little one inside us who still remembers being judged, excluded, or being too much. Maybe you were told to quiet down, be nice, don't make waves. And so the adult you, the one with vision and soul and power, still hesitates and still hears those old echoes. What if I'm rejected? What if I shine too brightly and it pushes people away? This fear isn't irrational, it's learned protection. Next, we add in the modern layer. We're constantly scrolling, comparing, watching everyone else appear confident and successful. And we get caught in this hustle culture, spiritual imposter syndrome, and the illusion that if we're not going viral or making six figures, we must not be ready. We see highlight reels and start to think our own soul work isn't good enough, when really it's just raw and real and in process. This fear of visibility tends to show up the most in those who carry deep medicine, the ones here to speak truth, create art, offer healing. They often feel the fear the strongest because showing up means not just being seen. It means being seen in your full essence, and that can feel unbearably vulnerable. So that's quick basics on why we hide. The ancestral wounds, the inner child fears, the conditioning. Now let's look at another facet of this, what it feels like to be unseen. Because even if we understand the roots, that doesn't change how painful it can be to pour your heart into something and feel like no one notices. I remember I got up the courage to participate. My friend was doing a fundraiser for an animal shelter, and she was selling these raffle tickets for various prizes, and she asked me if I would be willing to donate some Reiki services. I was like, oh God, this is it. I'm going to be seen. Like, people are going to see me. I have no choice but to be seen. I have to do this. So I did it. I put myself out there. I was advertising my face, my services in connection with this fundraiser. And the day came, the raffle winners were all selected, and I got the contact info for the person who had won my services, and we got in touch on Instagram, and she was like, what exactly is Reiki? And I carefully crafted a response, and I was so nervous and excited, and she completely ghosted me, didn't even respond, left me on read. We often take that feeling as evidence we're not good enough, not magnetic enough, and not aligned enough. I certainly did. What was the universe telling me? My first real client ghosted me. This has to be a redirection. But what if that's not true? What if invisibility isn't a flaw, it's a signal? Not rejection from the world, but protection from your soul. It's not punishment, but preparation. Let's talk about that. Your energy might be hiding for a reason. Ask yourself, am I disassociated from my power or purpose right now? Am I still waiting for permission to show up? Am I dimming my energy, hoping to stay safe, small, or under the radar? Sometimes we're not being seen because we haven't fully allowed ourselves to be here. Not because we're wrong, but because part of us is still deciding if it's safe. There's a metaphor I've heard. Invisibility is the soul's cloak while she's growing stronger beneath the surface. So it's like a seed underground. It's not blooming yet, but that doesn't mean it's not alive. It's not failure, it's becoming. So instead of asking, why am I not being seen, ask, what part of me is still preparing to emerge? This moment of invisibility might actually be a sacred pause, a time of remembering, rewiring, or even just resting. So look at it this way. What if invisibility is actually an invitation? What if it's an invitation to realign with the version of you who wants to be witnessed? Not the polished version, not the strategic person, but the one who's grounded, embodied, and real. The one who's no longer performing, but simply showing up from their truth. You don't have to force yourself into the spotlight. You just have to open the door to your own light and trust that those meant to see it will. I want to do a couple exercises. So if you're in a space where you can pause, I invite you to place one hand on your heart and one on your lower belly. Take a couple deep breaths. Feel yourself here, in your body, in this moment. Let's shift from self-judgment to self-curiosity. So you can ask yourself as a journal prompt or just a moment of reflection in this meditative state. Ask yourself, what might my invisibility be protecting me from? What part of me is waiting to feel safe enough to be seen? Let your pen move if you're journaling without filtering. You might be surprised what surfaces. And if you're receiving information in your mind's eye, don't force, just allow, receive. Next, ask, what would it feel like to be witnessed in my full truth and still be safe? Can you give yourself that experience first? Again, don't force anything. Allow it to flow. Receive. When you're done with that, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and come back to the present moment. So we've got the knowledge, we've done the work. How do we begin showing up again? What do we do when we're ready to come out of hiding? When our soul is whispering, it's time, but our body still remembers what it felt like to be judged and ignored or misunderstood. We don't force, we don't perform, we reconnect. This is about showing up from a deeper place, where your energy feels anchored and your truth feels safe. Your visibility becomes a reflection of your wholeness, not your strategy. So let that visibility begin in the body. Put your hand on your heart or anywhere that feels like home and speak this affirmation gently. It is safe for me to be seen in my truth. It is safe to show up as who I really am. Notice any sensations, resistance, warmth. You're not doing it wrong, you're just listening. This isn't about pushing through discomfort. It's about making visibility embodied. So now let's reprogram the belief that visibility equals danger. If your subconscious mind associates being seen with being attacked, abandoned, or too much, it will always try to keep you safe by staying hidden. So this is why I created Release Receive. It will help you shift those energetic programs that say it's not safe to be visible and replace them with truth. A truth where visibility becomes aligned, sacred, and expansive. I'm really proud of Release Receive because I have it all in writing and it's self-guided and you're able to revisit it as often as you feel yourself reach these energetic limits. I still think one-to-one sessions are amazing and I do offer them, but I just think it's really important and it's my goal to teach. So when you download Release Receive, you have the process available in your healing toolkit to revisit as often as you need until this work becomes second nature. So getting back to how we begin showing up, I invite you to make one aligned move today. Ask yourself, what's one way I can show up today that feels real? Not performative, not perfect, just true. Maybe it's sharing a story on social media. Maybe it's reaching out to someone and letting them really see you. Maybe it's standing in front of the mirror and saying, I'm still here and I'm ready. The world doesn't need a louder version of you. It needs a real version of you, present, embodied, and unafraid to exist in their full light. And it isn't about doing more. It is not about hustling harder and shouting above the noise. That era is ending. We're done with structural and survival, but we are moving into frequency and authenticity. We're not being asked to climb the ladder. We're being asked to raise the vibration, and that starts with you. This reminds me of before being in a session with an artist, and something came through so clearly for her. It is literally her purpose to show up and create from her authentic self. Her artwork raises the vibration of those who resonate with it, and in turn, those people raise the vibration of everyone they come in contact with. It's like a domino effect, a frequency ripple, and the same is true for you. Your truth, your energy, your presence, it matters. So if you've been afraid of not being for everyone, here's what I tell myself, and I tell myself this often. It's something I heard a long time ago. It's a quote from Dita Von Teese. You can be the ripest, juiciest peach in the world, and there's still going to be someone who doesn't like peaches. And that's okay. You weren't made for everyone. You were made for your people. So take one small sacred step today and let yourself be seen. Not to prove anything, not to perform, but share the gift of who you are. And if this resonated, I would love to support you deeper. My Release Receive journey is designed to help you gently rewire the hidden fears that keep you playing small and open the door to sacred visibility and soul-aligned expression. You will find the link in the show notes, but just head to my website, Everything Embodiment, and you'll find it under my Embodiment Essentials tab. If you love this episode, it would mean so much if you'd leave a review for the podcast. Send me a screenshot along with your birth date, time, and location. And for the entire month of May, I will send you a free copy of Embodied Insight, a birth chart report. If you've ever wondered what the stars were doing the moment you were born, your birth chart is your soul's cosmic blueprint, a map of your energy, potential, purpose, and patterns. This easy to understand report is an auto-generated interpretation created using trusted professional astrology software, and it covers your sun, moon, and rising signs, which is your core essence, emotional world, and outer expression, your Mercury in midheaven, how you think, speak, and lead, your north and south nodes, your soul purpose, past life themes, key house placements, and planetary insights. And it's just a grounded reflection of who you are and who you're here to become. So just pure cosmic insight delivered to your inbox within 24 hours. Let this be the beginning of your embodiment journey. So again, leave the review, send me the screenshot to Amber at Everything Embodiment with your birth info, and I will send the chart your way. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope this episode brought you clarity, comfort, or even a little courage. I will catch you next week. Until then, stay embodied.